As excited as I was when we got the Super Mario movie, it doesn't even hold a candle next to how excited I am for The Legend of Zelda. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Jimmy or Chaos. For decades, it's been the ultimate playground rumor, the thing we've all dreamed about but never thought would actually happen. A live-action Legend of Zelda movie that's actually really good and authentic and original. And Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for the Super NES is my favorite game of all time. Now, we've seen the fan films, we've seen the fan castings, but now it's real. Nintendo and Sony are officially teaming up to bring Hyrule to the big screen, and today we cover everything. The bombshell of an announcement that came out for the main two casting positions that we just got, plus every leak, rumor, plot, theory that you can absolutely think of. Drop a like, make sure you're subscribed, turn on those notifications, and you let me know in the comments, are you satisfied with the castings? And I'll tell you my opinion as well. And remember, I read every single comment on every single video. Now, after months of silence, the floodgates just opened. We have our Link, we have our Zelda, we have a director with what I would say is a wild vision for the movie, and we're going to break down every single piece of confirmed news, every rumor, and every fan theory. Stick around to the end of the video, too, because we're going to tackle the single biggest, most controversial question that could make or break this entire movie for the fans. Should Link actually talk? So the answer is actually more complicated than you think. Now, let's start with the news that just dropped. Our confirmation. We have our hero and we have our princess. Nintendo announced that Princess Zelda will be played by Bo Bragason, and the hero Link will be played by Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. Now, if you're asking who are those people, I think that's the point. Instead of going for huge A-list stars, they cast two young, talented, relatively unknown British actors. Bragason is 21, has been in shows like Disney Plus's Renegade Nell, and Ainsworth is only 16. You might know him from The Haunting of Bly Manor or as the voice of Pinocchio in the Disney remake. Now, the fan reaction, I'd say it's split down the middle. You can let me know what you think in the comment section. A lot of people, myself included, I think it's a genius move. It means we won't be watching Tom Holland as Link. We'll be just watching Link, and it lets the characters actually define the actors and not the other way around. But there's others out there. They're worried. Ainsworth is only 16. That's a massive weight to be put on a young actor's shoulders for a franchise this beloved. I mean, it's a huge swing from Nintendo. It tells us they're putting their faith in the world and the story, not just a big name on a poster, which I think is the right move, and I am all for it. Think back to Harry Potter. Nobody knew who those kids were, and now look at them. So, who is the madman brave enough to actually direct this? Because this is one of those movies you're either going to knock it out of the park or it's going to end up being just a really cheesy experience. Well, Wes Ball is up for the task. The guy who did the Maze Runner trilogy and more recently, the incredible Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. His vision? Well, it should get everybody excited. He said he doesn't want to make Lord of the Rings. He wants to make something that feels real and serious, but also fun and whimsical. I mean, I love the thought process, but those two things, that's hard to put together and make it right. So, the creator of Zelda himself, Shigeru Miyamoto, is co-producing the film alongside Avi Arad. So, the producer behind movies like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Iron Man. This isn't just some cash grab. Nintendo is deeply involved to make sure they get this right, and who better to have it as at least like an advisor than Miyamoto, right? Now, the official plot. It's pretty much what you would expect. A young warrior named Link must protect the magical kingdom of Hyrule from the evil warlord Ganon. Okay, who's after the all-powerful Triforce? That's classic. But the real question is, which game story are they going to tell? Well, guys, let me know what you think. Theory number one is the Ocarina of Time. That's a big one. It's the foundational story for the entire modern timeline. It establishes the connection between Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf in the creation of the Master Sword and the splitting of the Triforce. It would be the perfect place to start a movie franchise because, trust me, they are all in for this to be a franchise, not a one and done. Theory 2, the Twilight Princess. Now, this one's gaining a lot of steam because of the casting. Twilight Princess, Link is about 17 and Zelda is 20. Our actors, 16 and 21. It's almost a perfect match. Darker, more mature story like the Twilight Princess could fit well into Wes Ball's vision of a serious and real movie. I actually like this one a lot. And then, of course, a brand new adventure. It's also very likely they won't adapt any single game directly. They're probably going to create a new story that pulls the best elements from across the series to create the definitive movie version of the legend. With rumors that this is planned as a trilogy, they have time to build this out, and they picked them young so they can build into the next decade as the characters of this. Then again, I just want to put my hat in the ring. Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, great story. Gotta go to both opposite worlds. Just saying, that would be really cool. I know it's probably not going to happen, but yeah, I'm a little biased. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said there's a question that's divided Zelda fans for decades, and it honestly will probably make or break this movie. Should Link speak? On one hand, his silence is pretty iconic, right? It's a core part of his character that allows us, the players, to project ourselves onto him. Silent protagonist in a movie, it would be bold. It would be an artistic choice. Some fans have even suggested he could be mechanically nonverbal or use a form of sign language, which would be incredibly powerful and inclusive as a take on the character. But on the other hand, this is a 2-hour movie. It's really hard to build character and relationships with no dialogue. In the games, other characters clearly react to him as if he's speaking. We just don't hear it. So for a movie to work, I have to go with he almost has to have a voice. But if he does, what does his voice sound like? Does he just grunt? Does he yell hi-ha? Or does he have full-on conversations? And please, does he say, well, excuse me, princess? All these questions need answered. They need asked and they need answered, because this will be a first for us. But with the attention span of most people, I don't see how you build out the beginning and flesh out the beginning of a trilogy with your two main characters and create a storyline, create connections, if Link is nonverbal for all 3 movies. I get why the purists would want that. I completely understand, but at the end of the day, if this is going to translate over to live action and on the big screen, I just don't know if there's a way to do that. I mean, I never want to say no to anything, but that's just my opinion. You guys let me know what you think on that. Now, let's recap here. Live action Legend of Zelda movie officially happening, starring 2 young, fresh-faced young actors, Bo and Benjamin, and being directed by Wes Ball, who is aiming for that combination of live action, serious tone, but also funny, whimsical vibe, which once again, that's really hard to pull off, so I hope he does. It's also being co-produced by Miyamoto himself. Story should be a classic Link versus Ganon adventure, but we're debating if it will pull from Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, or be something totally on its own. The cool part is, it's scheduled to hit theaters on May 7th, 2027. I know that sounds like a long time. We're in 2025, but I promise you it will come up fast. If they're announcing castings, more castings are coming, and they're probably going to start filming sometime early 2026 at my best guess, especially if it's coming out in summer of 2027. This is one of the most anticipated video game movies of all time, and it feels real, but they have to get it right. Once again, I feel like there is no middle ground. You don't walk out of the movie theater saying that was all right. You either walk out of the movie theater thinking this was really good and it captured that Lord of the Rings vibe or that Troy or Odyssey vibe, but it also had that video game whimsicalness to it, or you walk out saying this is like the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 80s and it was terrible. You guys let me know what you think. I'll see you soon.